from a men's perspective. Are y'all waiting on girls to talk to you first? Like, are you waiting on a girl to ask you on a date first? Because that's crazy to me. Like, when you're out in public and you're making eyes with a girl and you're like making it known that you're attracted to her, but you're not gonna say something. How are you not gonna say something? Where are the huevos? Where are the huevos these days? I feel like there's so many like times that guys want to say something to girls and they don't. Like, is there a guy watching this that can give us some insight? Like, why don't you just do it?
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and on today's episode, we have a banger for you here today. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the video.
No way. I'm like, oh, let me break societal standards. Let me ask a guy for his number. And he just doesn't care. I'm like, hey, are you single? He's like, yeah. Why are you hesitating? I should have like double checked. I should have been like, are you sure? Anyway, he's like, yeah. I was like, okay, can I get your number? He's like, sure. He puts his number in my phone and I'm like, thanks. I think he just like nods and walks away. I know I don't look great tonight. Like, I didn't do my makeup because I didn't plan to go to the bar. But to just see me, I ask for your number and you just go, sure.
A lot of likes on Instagram don't mean anything when you have to deal with real people. I think she just learned that. Wow. It looks like not everyone will like you in real life. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to see older women are getting meltdown because men are not looking for a relationship. Let's get started right away.
Isn't it funny how she's complaining about this particular situation, but the majority of men, if they go up and ask for a woman's number, if they're the ones actually initiating, they get treated far worse than this woman did. And yet she thinks that somehow she's the victim in this particular situation. It's always really funny, guys, when you have modern women get treated with any ounce of reality that men get treated with on every single day, they lose their minds and they make a TikTok about it like it's some sort of, you know, awful grievance that they have to go through. But let's continue.
Still be so immature in their 30s.
Let's get started right away.
I just wasn't expecting guys to still be so immature in their 30s or be so scared of commitment, because now I feel like they have an extra, like when they're a frat boy and they're like, yeah, I'm just trying to live my life, like whatever, okay, that's still annoying, but we get it, you're 23 and you want to live life. But when you're 34, when you're 35 and you're still like, yeah, I don't know what I want, I'm like, dude, you're like old.
It's important to remember that men in their 30s aren't just older. They're also hitting the best time of their love life. I don't think what the guy said was wrong. At this point in time, many men have started to solidify their jobs and figure out what they want out of life. They are now better prepared to look for serious relationships with a more mature view.
Yeah, maybe the guys who are saying that they don't want anything serious at this age, maybe they just don't want something serious with you. I think that's the problem that a lot of these modern women run into, is they think they're so special, they think that they're so unique, that when a man tells them no, then all of a sudden the man is the problem. Okay, all throughout our 20s, you know, the women that is, they wanted to screw around, they wanted to date this guy, they wanted to date that guy, have their fun, go partying, okay? But when they're in their 30s, now everybody has to settle down, right? I'm ready to settle down and have kids because my biological clock is ticking. So if the man doesn't want to do that as well, then he's a bad person, and he's old. Do you ever think that maybe the men just don't want to commit to you? They would rather just date a younger woman or some woman that's from another country who's actually not out here behaving like a man?
Most guys in their 20s are still figuring out their goals, how to get there, and how to build their lives. Really, they're not in a hurry, and they're not ready to settle down just yet. Women tend to see things differently, which could be because things are different with them.
Meet this guy from Bumble tonight. He asked me if I want to do something casual, like go to a movie. I said no, because a movie is kind of weird for just first meeting someone. You can't really even tell if you vibe if you can't talk. So I suggested we go to Crumble and try the new cookies, which I know the owner of Crumble is a total douche, but I really want to try this new Oreo one. Also told him just now to not expect me to show up in actual pants. If you're gonna say it's casual, then I'm showing up in my leggings, and there's nothing you can say about it. It also just kind of shows where I'm at in my singleness. If you're gonna require me to put on actual pants and do something, I'm not interested. I'd rather just stay home. But if you're okay with me showing up in leggings to eat cookies, which I know kind of contradicts itself, I'm down. I'll show up for that. Otherwise, I'm just a good stay-at-home on my own.
We'll jump right into the weird things that happen when you're dating in your 30s and find an interesting case where the usual rules of dating are broken. You could plan a first date where everything is planned out, from the place to the clothes you wear. Yes, she chooses a fancy restaurant, one that she's been meaning to visit but thought was too pricey to do by herself. Now that the date is set, she doesn't stop. She also tells him what to dress in. This situation is different from most dates where the man plans the details. Instead, she's in charge, and she might be guiding her towards experiences she wants to have, but hasn't had yet. It's an interesting look at how love can change as people get older, mixing romance with personal growth.
These women who get to this age and they have all of these demands oftentimes get really kind of reality checked, and then they blame it on men. For example, I'm a woman, I'm in my 30s, I'm ready to settle down, so here are the things that I won't tolerate. And what ends up happening is the majority of men just start ignoring them. Right? They just start ignoring them, or because here's what men realize, okay, particularly as they get into their 30s, is like, if the woman is interested, she's going to show up wherever, wearing whatever you tell her to. She doesn't need to be in charge of everything, okay? These women who behave incredibly masculine, they don't want to do things unless it's their way. It's like, okay, go do that by yourself then. Because men who respect themselves or who understand that the woman isn't even interested in them are just going to go find another woman. Like, if a woman puts all of these different kind of demands and stipulations on dates and talking to one another, you already know that the woman's not really that interested in you. Particularly the guys who are over the age of 30. They're just going to ignore you. They're going to go date somebody else. They're going to realize and understand that somebody else is going to be interested in them, and you're clearly just screwing around because you have all of these super high standards that Chad never had to fulfill. But of course, the man who has to take care of you, he has to do it your way and look after you. No.
People get older, mixing romance with personal growth.
To know from a men's perspective, are y'all waiting on girls to talk to you first? Like, are you waiting on a girl to ask you on a date first? Because that's crazy to me. Like, when you're out in public and you're making eyes with a girl and you're like making it known that you're attracted to her, but you're not gonna say something, how are you not gonna say something? Where are the huevos? Where are the huevos these days? I feel like there's so many like times that guys want to say something to girls and they don't. Like, is there a guy watching this that can give us some insight? Like, why don't you just do it? Why don't you just do it? Are you scared? Are you waiting for her to say something first? I like my men to be assertive and dominant. If you want to say something to me, say something to me.
He might not have wanted it to happen. Based on what we saw in the last one, he's not going to say no. Most likely. You will get a sure, though. Yes. Why not? At some point, I might get bored. I don't want to do anything tonight, so let me take care of you. And the fact that someone finds you beautiful doesn't mean they want to go further. They'll look at what they see and then go on with their lives.
It's really scary now because I know I'm 34, but then at the same time, I'm looking at the guys that are my age and older, even like a couple of years. I'm like, and please, the guys on there, I'm not saying this with any hate or anything. This comes from a place of love. But I'm like, God damn, like, sir, the Sydney sun has not been kind to you. Like, have you not been using sun cream? These men look like they're sultanas. They look fucking old. They look like my grandpa. I mean, I have nothing. I'm a hairdresser background. I have nothing against the silver fox look. I love a man that's got grey hair, right? We're not even talking about that. We are talking about these guys that have, like, receded, gone grey, but they look so much older than what they are.
Oh, boo-hoo. Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Have you guys noticed that some of my videos have gone missing over here on YouTube? That is because I am slowly moving them over to locals where I can actually host them without the risk of getting in trouble. If you are not aware, many creators are starting to move over to places like locals, Rumble, etc. because YouTube is not really a free speech platform. So if you are interested in supporting the channel and getting access to videos that are no longer available here, make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. The link will be in the video description down below. Supporters get access to their own exclusive videos that are no longer available to the public. So make sure you go to the link in the description and join us over there now. But anyway, guys, back to today's episode.
And at the same time, I feel like I'm 34, but I still feel like I'm like really young at heart and I don't look my age. So can you imagine how weird that would look if I'm walking next to grandpa over here, like down the street? People are gonna think I'm their fucking like mail order bride. That's gonna look all sorts of wrong. So I'm in this weird, warped stage of my life at the moment when it comes to dating. It's fucking weird.
On a date.
Yeah, see, the reason why you're in a warped part of dating right now, and this is my response whenever these women say that, oh, I'm in a predicament, right? Or my dating life looks super weird right now. My response is usually always, well, of course it looks weird because you're a decade or multiple decades too late. Okay, I don't understand, guys. You know, let's ask ourselves the question here, which is, what have you been doing this whole time that leads you to be 34 years of age and single? Because 99.99% of women can secure a relationship, can secure something serious, long-term, whatever, when they're in their 20s. So if you have a woman who's 34 years of age and she's complaining about her dating situation, my question is always like, what have you been doing this entire time? You know, you could have been 22 a full 12 years ago, and you could have found your Prince Charming, had your marriage, all of this stuff before you were even 25. But now you want to get to 34 and you want to complain because the men in your age group look a lot older. I don't feel any sympathy here, okay? And this woman, she says here like, oh, I'm not against the silver fox kind of look. Yeah, there will be dudes who look attractive in their 30s, but these guys are not going to, they're going to be a lot, oftentimes they're a lot further between because it either takes effort or really great genetics. But the men who are in this situation, who have options, who are like 34, 36, 38 kind of thing, they don't want to date you. They're either going to use you for fun or they're just going to date younger women.
Dating app, a 34-year-old woman talks about how guys look older. If you're on a dating app, you'd think that you want to connect with other people, not attack them. If what she says is true, then why does she feel the need to wear makeup? It's a strange contradiction that makes people wonder. What's even more interesting is how this fits in with the way people date on apps in general. A lot of men have complained about canceled dates, often because of how different the women in their profiles look from how they really are. They say that women often use old pictures of themselves that make them look younger than they really are to get dates.
Okay, I am the problem. I went on a date with this guy and he was like, it's getting late. Do you want to come back to my place? And I was like, sure, but I'm not going to sleep with you. Like, that's not happening. And he was like, that's totally fine. Just come over. And I was like, cool. So I go to his place. He respects my wishes. He's so nice. He cuddles me all night. And I'm like, are you gay? Like, what? And like, I just wanted him to like try and then for me to be like, no, you know what I mean? I wasn't gonna sleep with him, but now I feel ugly.
Right. And see, this is why you just... Oh, man. Vice, let's just restart the clip here as if I didn't even make a comment. Just let her finish. My brain is melting from these idiots. Let's just run it back.
I wasn't gonna sleep with him, but now I feel ugly. This is what...
Since no seems to mean maybe and yes seems to mean maybe, you should have said maybe from the start, right? You could always change your mind later. But let's go back to what you said first. Truth be told, you are the issue.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about dating in your 30s because I know I can't be the only one that is now in her 30s trying to date after not really dating in her 20s. I grew up in a very strict household and I never could date in high school, and then in college I was just too like socially awkward, socially shy, anxious, and I did date like a little bit, but nothing crazy.
Lies. It's all lies. Whenever you hear these situations of, oh, wow, you know, my dating life wasn't too crazy. I'm just magically 30 years of age and single, but don't worry, I was basically, essentially celibate throughout my entire 20s because of XYZ. You can throw that out the window, guys. We just got straight up lied to here.
And so now I'm in my 30s and I'm trying to date, and it's just the weirdest. It's the weirdest experience. Like, I'm finally in a place where I'm ready to date. Like, I'm actually ready to like put myself out there. For years I've just been like single and like happy being single and whatever, but something has shifted this year where I'm like, I actually really want to meet people. I want to date. I want that companionship.
This is so disgusting to me. So if you read between the lines here, what this woman just said is that she screwed around throughout her entire 20s, had fun with some bad boys with nothing serious, but now that she's 30, she wants to have something serious and she wants to really meet people. And I don't know about you guys, but it always disgusts me when I hear people refer to dating as though, you know, you've got to go through hundreds of people. You've really got to, you've got to date all of these different people. I do not want to date a woman. I do not want to wife up a woman. I do not want to take a woman seriously who is out here treating dating like it's a marathon, right? Where you have to date you got to go through all these guys, go on like 500 different dates. Okay, I think a lot of guys, particularly men who have any degree of self-respect, don't want to date women who have been on 500 dates. Because what those 500 dates mean is, number one, they've probably been with a lot of those men in the bedroom. That's number one. Number two, she could have found her Prince Charming in there somewhere. But she didn't. She's still screwing around dating. She still hasn't found anybody. And what that tells you is that the woman is oftentimes really arrogant, has really stupid standards, is going to treat you like garbage because she thinks that she deserves like an insane caliber of man. So, no thank you.
I don't know. It's not for the weak. And I don't like the dating apps. I begrudgingly took my Hinge profile off of pause, but I'm probably going to put it back on pause right now. Like, I cannot stand the dating apps.
She's going to go back. She said that she deleted it with some text that popped up here on the screen. But I guarantee you this woman will return to dating applications and has been a serial user of dating applications.
Much rather meet people in real life. Like, that's just, and I'm actually actively trying to do it. I'm going out with friends, I'm putting myself in places. I am actively wanting to meet people, but I cannot meet any people that are just like piquing my interest, that I find interesting.
Yeah, because you've been with so many bad boys that now, like, an average guy is not that interesting to you. And tell me if I'm the only one here, okay? But I always find this language as well really arrogant, where you say, you see women say, well, I put myself in positions, but the men that I want just don't approach me. Men approaching you is a privilege, by the way. I want this to be well understood, okay? Just like, chivalry and the courting process and buying women flowers and taking them out on dates, okay? Women have taken this stuff for granted, approaching included. So, you see these women who complain about, well, I'm standing in the bar, or I'm just sitting by myself in coffee shops, or I'm at a concert standing by myself and no men talk to me. I'm 30 plus years of age. Why don't men do it anymore? The men are the problem. Okay, I always found this to be a really arrogant position. Men are not responsible for approaching you. If a man approaches you, it is a privilege. Much like, dating and the whole courting process and buying you dinner, buying you flowers, all of this sort of thing. And so women, they take it for granted all throughout their 20s. And then when they get in their 30s, they're like, wait a minute, why aren't the men approaching me anymore? I'm sorry, not my problem.
If I do find somebody that's interesting, they end up hurting my feelings.
Let me wind that back. This proved exactly what I was about to say here, or what I said earlier, rather. Take a listen to this.
My interest, but I cannot meet any people that are just like piquing my interest, that I find interesting. If I do find somebody that's interesting, they end up hurting my feelings.
Yeah, so interesting is code for attractive here. So she doesn't find anybody attractive, and when she does find a man attractive, he doesn't want to commit to her. That's the translation.
Or they're unavailable. I have a full 45-minute conversation the other night while I was out with a man who was flirting with me, you know, telling me I'm cute, that I'm his type, that he wants to take me out to dinner, what's my favorite restaurant, blah, 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 only for them to like casually bring up that he's taken. And I thought he was joking, but he was 100% for real. So I'm like, why the fuck are you wasting my time? Why did we just have a 45 fucking minute conversation?
I always find it funny as well. These women are like, wow, I couldn't believe that this man is taken. I actually hold the opposite opinion here. I think a lot of these women know that they are talking to taken men, but that a lot of these women are just attracted to men who are taken, right? If you're a dude who's married or if you're a dude who's in a relationship, notice how women will pay you that little bit more attention when you're in those things, okay? And then they'll be like, wow, I didn't know he was in a relationship, or I didn't know he was married. And it's like, come on, Tiffany, you saw the ring on his finger. You were chasing him because he was married. Like, let's be honest with everyone here. I don't buy any of the stuff that this woman is selling. But guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, make sure you take care of yourselves. Make sure you drop a comment. What do you guys think down below? And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.